trust me, I've been through rejection, and I've been through the highest form of rejection. And it's not there to break you.
Yes.
Rather, it's there to make you better. If you can find
if you can
out,
embrace it.
yes. Not and when we're saying embrace it, not say that it's a part of life. What can I do? Everybody will reject me.
Or you do the other way. You like middle finger to everybody. Then you do your own.
Trust in your plans, trust in your process, trust in your plans, trust.
Welcome to that podcast with your favorite hosts, Jory Meke, the Zim Dream Kid.
Pastor Wandile right here.
Yes. We back again on your favorite YouTube channel, I believe by now.
Yeah, it should be.
Dead Base Online. It should be. Hopefully you're doing the good stuff, you know.
Yeah.
The commenting, the subscribing, the sharing, the commenting.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, I think we need to give shout out to two people. I don't know, was it Londeka? We see you.
Yeah.
She was really touched by the last Tina one. And who else commented?
Iwenzile,
yes.
Thank you so much,
Thank you guys so much.
Shout outs.
So yeah, we are here. I'm sure you're thinking, is it a different place? No, it's still the same spot.
That's back by the Harbour.
Back by the Harbour here in Durban, a cool spot for you to come and chill.
Very
eat.
beautiful.
Yeah. They got dope food also.
Yeah, they do actually.
I like their burgers.
They've got like a mixed traditional and that new flair going on.
They have like the new and the traditional.
Yeah.
I like how they do their traditional food. So you guys should come and check it out. You know, have fun here. Get a meal with your friends and your family.
Yeah.
Dope space to even host an event too.
Yeah. Definitely.
And obviously you see the black and white purple pulling up here.
You know.
By now it's a shame if you don't have
this. If you don't have it.
Come on, guys.
You're being left behind.
You're being left behind. Today I don't have my fitted cap, my black net cap, but you can also get there. You can also get hoodies and sweaters. How to get it? The description. There's a number you can app us, you know, and we'll get your order sorted. And there's also a competition still running on their competition. But for more details on that after the episode.
Yeah.
So I think there was a question that someone asked I believe you did reply them, but just for the sake of, you know, before we dive into someone asked, is intercession a gift?
Oh, yeah. I think I remember the question, like on intercession part.
Yes.
Yeah. So my answer to the question obviously was intercession is actually a gift and a calling. And then, but however, it's every believer's responsibility to intercede. So there are people that are given that extra grace
or like
of
they've been
intercession.
Called
Yes, they've been called to it.
I don't know. Was she called though, sir? There's this lady in the Bible. She prayed until the birth of Jesus Christ. But was that a calling, or she decided to?
It was a calling, sir. It was a man, Simeon.
Oh, it was Simeon.
It was Simeon. Yeah. He prayed until the birth of Jesus. Then Christ. He could have and then he said, "Now
I can rest."
Yeah. So there are people that are called to the intercession.
Yes.
And others, obviously it's every believer's responsibility, but there are others that just have that extra desire and passion for it.
Yes.
They could do it tirelessly, endlessly, day and night.
Yes.
You know, when you're passionate about something, you can work 7 years for a while.
And I think there are also some of the people that have been called personally to their families.
Yeah. Family intercessors.
God has brought you out to the light and everybody's in the darkness. So it's your necessity to do it, but it's also in that moment, it's kind of like a calling for you.
A calling for you. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Because God uses it to break with lights and, you know, do something new in your family.
So I hope we answered your questions. So please do bring more questions.
And we appreciate the questions because they actually help us to understand, okay, what line or conversation we're supposed to take.
Yeah. And if you feel like, okay, there's more you can add in the competition,
put it there.
We
see it. We see it all and we appreciate it all.
Yeah.
Even the criticism, we would love criticism. Like, you guys should do this or do that or whatever. Even if it's private, that will be better private. But like, I mean, as long as it's gonna make us better, I'm open to that.
Yeah, we're open to that.
Yeah. So
what we're not doing, tell us we should do. What we're doing, encourage us. Yeah. So today, what are we talking about?
It brings us to our next topic, obviously, talking about criticism and what. Because then now our topic for today is actually
rejection.
Battling rejection.
And
overcoming pain.
Yes.
So it's rejection and
because
pain.
they go in to get
Yeah.
Once you're rejected, you gotta feel the pain.
You feel it, bro. You feel it. No.
I mean, like, we can go back as to like our childhood when this is a common story with most people.
Yeah.
When you were playing soccer or any other game and you had to select each other, and then you're the last person to be always picked. But that hurts.
It does.
Because it makes you feel like nobody
I'm
likes me.
useless
I'm
in a way. Yeah.
Like for me in soccer, it was that. Because everybody knew that I couldn't play soccer. They were like, nah,
So
bro.
everybody will pick you last.
Pick me last, bro.
Well, I love soccer, but I was still picked
Yeah.
last anyways.
Wow.
Yeah,
so-
because I was the type of guy who could play anywhere, but like I preferred playing striker because I had a strong shot, but I couldn't run like that.
like
other
everybody,
guy.
so
Yeah.
you're like a weakness.
So I was just like, kick the ball.
Well,
So that's why everybody would pick me.
I was
last.
never a soccer fan from birth, so I know it's strange for a male person to say that.
Yeah.
But so soccer was not my thing. So when I was just playing, I was just having fun with my friends.
Yeah.
So they knew that I was not the best of the best. Anything else in soccer.
Yeah.
man.
Basketball and stuff like that.
Yeah. So that you could feel the pain of rejected. Like you knew that when it's time for soccer, I'm
it's
gonna feel
happen.
somehow.
Yeah, but also it and we're just speaking at a childhood level. Like there are deeper types of rejection, and we can stretch it even broader to
Yes.
rejection in relationships, rejection in
family.
career, in family. There are always those people that are rejected also
Yeah,
in families.
the
even
black sheep.
even for your religion, you can
Yes.
be rejected.
You can be rejected for
Yeah,
that.
rejected for the fact
Yeah.
that you're a Christian and you don't want to do family traditions
Family
and you don't want to
tradition.
follow all the things they do in the family. So basically, what I want to put in a nutshell is that rejection is actually a part of life, sir.
Yes, it's a natural form of thing
It
that
is. It
happens.
is. We don't. How do I put this? We don't accept it and say no. We stay in it. It's not good to be rejected. However, it is a part of life.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens. It's something
happens.
that
It's something
you can come across.
You have to come across it at one point.
Yeah.
Especially if you are trying to stand for something
Yeah.
positive, there's always going to be
Yeah.
that point where there's like some type of a discrimination. And I think it will always come wherever, especially worse if you're a believer.
Yeah.
You will find yourself in
Well,
points
you would
where
obviously, as a Christian, you'd
Yes.
obviously
you have to be rejected.
Yeah, you're
There's-
pushing against the grain.
agreeing. So everybody will not going to agree with you. So you're going to find yourself in positions where you're going to be rejected.
And you're going to be talked badly
Yeah.
about. So basically, I want to break down rejection first. Rejection is the feeling of being unwanted,
Isolated,
unaccepted,
yeah.
isolated.
Yeah.
And those type of feelings.
Yeah. Just being put one aside, like,
Yeah,
no,
we don't need this.
We don't need
we
you.
Don't see value in this.
they don't see value in what you're
Yeah.
doing or who you are.
Yeah.
So it's a part of life that happens. Like I already said, especially if you are a believer, you will find yourself being rejected.
Yeah.
And I think God usually uses it on. It's a natural thing to.
It's
him.
a natural. It's something you come across. I want to believe also rejection and pain are like a training ground, sir. It's a
Yes.
testing ground to
Yes.
see how much you value something or how much you believe in something.
Yeah. Because once you're rejected, it's equals to pain.
It is equal to
Because nobody gets rejected and said, "Okay, cool."
and be happy about it. Oh, I was rejected.
Once
You
you
get
rejected,
frustrated.
you
You
get
get
frustrated. But
angry.
why? I mean, like nobody gets rejected and be like, fine, obviously. So those two here now, what you're saying, they go hand in hand.
Hand in hand. Yeah. And they're not there to make you feel worthless. I think I saw one quote that said, rejection doesn't equal to your value.
Yes,
It doesn't mean you
That's who you are.
Yeah. Sometimes people reject you only on the basis of you don't meet their criteria. This doesn't mean you're not good at what you're doing. You're just not fit for what they want or what they looking
what
for.
they are looking for.
Yeah. So sometimes you just have to either try again and or put in more effort to get better,
Yes.
or to meet that criteria.
Like what you said, it's something that happens, and I think God uses rejection so that He can isolate you, right?
Yeah.
So when He isolates you, He's trying to work on you.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you, like our Father always says,
Yeah.
you can't be like them and
and
impact them. You have to be different
from them.
And the only way God can make you different is when he separates you.
Okay.
And he has to do that by rejection. He's going to let them reject you. And then once you are isolated, then now he can work on you.
Yeah.
Because once you're always like
surrounded,
accepted,
or crowded,
you don't really find your value. You don't understand yourself.
You don't understand yourself.
There's too many voices around you telling you this is who you are.
This, or be this, or
be like that,
walk like that.
But you cannot understand until you like on yourself. You're like, whoa. Then God can now work on you because now you are rejected.
Build you. Yeah.
You have good examples, Joseph in the Bible.
Yeah. So we got too many of them. So too many of them. David was even rejected by his family when he was working in a bush and what.
Literally by his father.
Watching.
Do you know how it feels like your dad saying? Imagine your dad. He has done all when Samuel came to choose
stuff.
Like imagine they had to ask
he
him.
Forgot somebody.
So you're saying this because God is telling me, wait.
The king is here.
No, it's not. He's not
from this family.
He's from his family. I have tried to anoint anyone. God is rejecting everybody.
I have one.
There's this dude.
He's watching the sheep.
He's outside. Bruh. Tell me about it.
And even from that like story, you can see how God used the rejection and the isolation to make him the greatest warrior in Israel.
Because in his isolation, he was killing birds, killing lions
and the bears, tearing their mouths,
doing all sorts of
keeping
things.
the sheep. And even, I think there's such a powerful revelation in him watching over sheep, because now that expresses how his assignments in the future, how he will have to take care of people and Israel and save them and fight for them, and God uses rejection and pain to train us.
So I think one of the things that you have to accept is it's okay to be rejected. Yes, it's painful, obviously, but now you have to understand, why am I being rejected? Because it also goes to a sidebar. Sometimes you can be rejected for the silly things you're doing. You'll be doing nonsensical things. They're being rejected, but it's on you.
But you are the reason.
You're the reason what you're doing.
The source of rejection is yourself. Like you just silly,
you're doing yourself. And then there is where people actually reject you for not because you are doing what's wrong. It's because they don't understand your assignment. They don't understand you. They don't. It could be jealousy also sometimes. And then God uses that rejection for himself. Like what you said. Now God has to use like what we used like David. Now David was obviously rejected, but they didn't know that he was being actually made for his assignment.
For his assignments.
Same with Joseph.
Joseph, same thing. When his brothers rejected him.
They sold him. And it's always painful because it's when you're rejected, you know why it's painful? Because you're always rejected by the people that are most close to you.
That are more close to you. That people that you value, sir. People that you love.
Family, friends, people that you look up to.
People you look up to. Oh, your role models.
And then you're like, it gets you confused on what's happening. But you don't know God is actually isolating you now to work on you.
And I think when we do get to that point where we are rejected for any reason, whether a career, whether a relationship, because some relationships fail, and partners have to, like sort themselves out. This one be like, I don't need you anymore. And this one, hey, you get like, it's a very painful process. It's a very confusing process sometimes. However, I want us to look at how Joseph dealt with the rejection. And the only way to deal with rejection is to actually allow yourself to go through it, learn from it, and pick yourself up. Pick yourself up. I think it was Nelson Mandela saying that our greatest asset of living is the fact that it's not that we don't fail or we don't get rejected or we don't feel pain, but however is the fact that we can rise from it every time we go through it.
It's more like, you could say to you might look at it as a failure when people are rejecting you, but that doesn't mean
it's not.
That's actually where you need to realize why am I being rejected? Because when you're accepted with people, your value is decreased. And I think there's a saying by Lecrae that he used to say, and he still uses it in his mantra, like his mantra. He said, if you live for people acceptance, you will die from their rejection.
You die from their rejection.
That means when people are accepting you a lot, and the day they reject you,
you'll feel it.
That's where you'll crash.
You'll feel it.
Because you're living for their validation.
You'll feel it.
So now, even as you now, this one is for the believers.
Yeah.
You can't be a believer and you're living for people's validation.
You need to live beyond validation.
You have to live for God's purpose.
Yeah.
And God's purpose might actually go against what people are saying. Because like what you're saying in the beginning, where people have been disowned by their families.
Yeah.
We've seen this.
We've heard of this. We've encountered
it. Encountered it where someone has been disowned by their own family because they didn't want to do the traditional stuff.
Traditional things.
Because now they were a believer, they believed God. And obviously God is like, you have to stand on business.
You have to stand, with what we agreed on.
Yes, you have to stand on it.
Don't collapse under the pressure.
Yes. And you have to stand on it. That means now if you accept the validation of your family, you have swerved away from the destiny of what God is actually calling to you.
Trying to do. Yeah.
So you have to live beyond the validation of people. And you have to accept their rejection for a higher purpose.
To be able to go above
whatever they are accepting you to. Because what they're accepting you most of the time is always mediocre. Or it's chicken change to your destiny. That's actually a higher price.
And I think you need to know, especially this rejection, you are able to handle when you know exactly what your purpose is, or you've discovered what you're trying to do, and you put faith in what you're doing. You get, because like there's so many reasons why people are rejected, sir. And if you believe in what you believe in and you trust this is it, you get. I think even the movie we've watched, Acrimony.
Oh, yeah.
You remember the Acrimony when that movie is like so emotional. I till today I don't know who was wrong. Whether it was the wife, whether it was the husband. You get, because the husband kept believing in an idea that he believed in, and he was rejected by his family, by the girl, by the world rejected him for his ideas. But he knew it was gonna work.
It's gonna work.
You get, even like there's so many inventions that are now great inventions. They all pass through that road, sir.
Yeah, you had to be rejected because nobody believed in what you were doing. Because you're super crazy.
Yeah. You if you believe in something and you know it's gonna work.
Yeah.
You get you even if it fails a couple of times, you just keep going at it. Harry Potter was rejected.
Yeah.
All these great people now that are shaking the world with all their stories and their writings and their books and their music.
And to one point they were rejected.
They passed through this journey.
And it's now, I think I would like to say this in terms of it. Because I have also been rejected at some point because they were like, people were like, nah, we don't believe that you can do music.
Yeah.
I was like, nah. But I was like, I believe in myself. I know that I can. But now when you have been rejected, or there's two things that can happen now. It's either you don't allow that to toxically taint your destiny now because you want to do it to prove. Yes, there is that engine in you that wants to prove them wrong. But when it becomes a driving force to the end, you lose the actual purpose of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because all you're trying to do is prove people wrong. It's just
proofs. Yeah.
And that's wrong, because when you get to the end, you're like, I proved you wrong. Then what? Then you're not fulfilled. Because your fulfillment was based on trying to prove them wrong.
Yeah.
But when it's a bigger cause, you're like, okay, I'm going to prove you wrong, but I have a bigger purpose for this.
Yeah.
That, for example, like what you said, Joseph. Yes, his family had rejected him, right? But when he became king, he had a choice to actually prove them that I told you that you guys were going to bow before me.
My dreams were true and you guys didn't believe that, you rejected me from it.
But he realized that it was not for he actually realized that no, I came here to actually be a savior for our family.
Yeah. I'm a savior. It had to be so. It had to be like this so that I can become what God had destined me for.
But he could have just said, oh, okay, game time.
Yeah. Now it's time to
I told you guys you're going to bow for me. Now go inside.
And they bowed willingly, not because he had oppressed
them, but they realized, bro, he's the king.
He's prime, bro.
This Optimus Prime in this movie, he has transformed, bro.
Yeah, so it's like that.
He had become a savior to the family. So he could actually have used that power that he had gained for bad. That's what I'm saying, that now when you're being rejected, you have to be careful also now. In whatever that you're trying to do after being rejected, do not use that thing against the people that rejected you.
Because some people, people reject you. Like I was still saying that there are many sources of rejection.
Yes.
Some people reject you to fulfill God's plan.
Yeah. God actually uses them to reject you.
He's the one that has put it in them.
He will make them reject you.
To strengthen you. Imagine if everyone, sir, who you encountered accepted you. Probably you wouldn't even be where you are right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be.
There are people that rejected you to save your life, sir.
Yeah.
And they were destined by God to be so.
It had to be like that. But if you miss the point in the long run, because sometimes it's natural, like what I said, it's painful to be rejected.
Yeah.
But you have to come to an epiphany or to a moment to be like, wait a minute.
How can I correct things, or what do I need to do?
I'm rejected, but it's fine. I gotta keep moving.
Keep moving.
I'm not gonna allow the pain of being rejected to stop me now and say, because some people have been rejected in very painful situations.
Yeah.
Like you have your mother rejecting you. How do you go through something like that? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't even know how that feels. To have your own mother say,
I don't know.
I don't want you. Like you have stories of people that have been, their mother dumped them in one bin.
Yeah.
And those actually people have become some of the greatest people.
Some of them are, sir. Even, like when I also look at my own life, I want to believe that I would have never become a Christian unless what happened in my family was my mother and my father divorced. You get? And I saw my mother go through all the pressures, bro. You get? I saw her go through everything.
Yeah.
And I watched her through it all. And that led us to the point where she actually found God. She found Christ. My mother didn't believe at all.
In the beginning.
She didn't want to believe. She didn't, she felt like this Christian thing was just like a game.
All fake.
Until she went through the phases of depression and losing herself and having to get help. Only then was she drawn to Christ. And after she was drawn to Christ, then that dragged me along. And at that process, I was blowing myself off. So I was going crazy, like going mad. I felt like my world was collapsing at that time.
Also.
Like watching your mother go through a breakup or a divorce like that. You get? And not that it's just like a simple one where it's just like, okay, they have an agreement. It's like a forceful break off.
Yeah.
You get? And, it went like haywire, sir. But it took the grace of God. And when she found Christ, she led me to Christ. So that bad situation, that rejection, divorce created a good thing, which has now brought me to Christ.
Yes.
Brought my family to Christ. You get? It's just a simple, and this is why we have to understand that not all rejections are actually for bad.
Yes.
You get? Sometimes God is trying to bring you to somewhere or call you into a place, into a state. You get? I know how to, I've learned how to have respect for people, have regard for them, because I know what I've been through. Sir.
Yeah, empathy.
Yeah. I've sir.
Yeah, I kind of have like almost a similar story, because not that my mom was divorced, but my mom and dad never got married, right?
Yeah,
I was born out of wedlock, right?
Okay,
so I felt like from my father's side, I was never accepted for a very, very long time.
Okay, yeah.
So because I was the one that was like, okay, you were. So even it took a while for me to be introduced to my father's side.
Yeah.
It took a really long while. So I always felt like I was like the black sheep of the family. Because even when I was introduced, like, this is so and so son, Hey. And by that time I was like super old. Like I was in my teenage years, bro. Like I was in my in my high school years. So I was just trying to figure out what's going on here with this family, because I was raised on my mother's side. So it took a while for me to like really get with the idea of well, what's really happening from my father's side family. But I guess in the long run, it actually strengthened me to find myself, because I also realized I'm super different from a lot of my siblings from my father's side. I guess that's God was trying to make me more different. It helped me to have a different perspective. So it actually, when I'm a more creative person and everything, I've always had a different perspective on things. Yeah. So you ask people, how do you think the way you think? It came from that, but now I use it for good. I didn't use it for bad. Because I think different. It opened my mind just to shaped my frame of thinking to think different always. It didn't make me go haywire and say, so what? But it kind of like shaped my thinking a little bit.
Yeah. Even in me, so in high school, I there's a time where I could see myself like I was a bully. I was a bad bully, sir. I literally just fight people for nothing. You get? And it all stemmed because when I got to grade 8, I was bullied. Oh my goodness. They tore my pants right in front of the entire school. Like we had like where we sit as the grade 8s and all that. So we had to pass through like the grade 9s or the grade 10s. I can't remember. But they grabbed me, they picked me, wedgie me, sir, right in front. And that's the time.
They wedged you, sir.
That's the day I made up my mind. I'm never gonna be bullied. And the only way to do that was that I must become a bully too. Yeah. And that was my mistake. Like it made me a bad person instead of making me to realize, okay, there's a gap here we need to fill. And how can we fix things? How can we ensure this doesn't happen to other people? You get? And like sometimes how we deal with the rejection as well can either lead us to a good or a bad thing.
But yeah, because now you're driven by the pain. Because even me, when in that situation, even up to the point that, maybe to the point before I left my dad, even our relationship, because I came late in his life. Okay. I'm old. I'm an adolescent. Yeah. You know how when you're adolescent, you have your own
sets of mind.
You're you're on a rebel mode, basically. If not for, however, maybe you are treated in a household where everything is fine. But you're on rebel mode totally. So him and having a connection together as father and son, it was really difficult. It was really difficult. So that pain could have driven me to be
something different.
And it really did hurt as you know, as a son to a father.
It does.
I had to come to a point where I was like, you know what, I do understand. Because now in depth later on in life, when I was growing up, I was like, it's either I can continue this thing in momentum, because this is how people that have grown up, for example, if your father was abusing your mother, like beating your father, we have seen that this thing is always overlapped, and you would tell yourself, I will not do the same thing, but you end up doing the same thing.
End up in the same pedestal.
So but I had to come to it and like, nah, I cannot. Obviously, with the kind of life he's living, I had to not let it, like, I had to learn from that painful situation that I'm not going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do the same. Like, when I was reintroduced to that family, my family, I realized most people were like into drinking.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to be the person. And I decided I'm not. I realized like maybe 3 of my cousins, we decided, no, we're not going to participate in actually taking alcohol. But I could have been in the same situation, because that pain could have led me to say, to numb the pain, I would have become an alcoholic. But I didn't let it get to that state.
Yeah.
I was like, no, this pain, I'm going to make sure that I stop it from here. And not continue, because it's going to continue into my next family, then my children, and then everything. But I had to come to a point like, nah, I become the end of this.
Yeah.
And it's a miracle that I don't drink alcohol.
You serious?
You know how I drink water and juice.
Yeah.
I think it stems from the fact that my family, I could have been in alcohol.
It's in the bloodline.
And the pain would have led me to that journey.
Yeah, I think, and I don't want us to feel like we invalidating the pain. No, it is really painful. So rejection is painful, and it does pain.
Yes.
You will feel the pain, but don't use the pain for negative. Rather turn it into a positive energy, which brings me back to one of our pods we had, what they say. You use all that energy, and it becomes a fuel for you to do better, to do good, to try and fix things and see where you can fill in the gap find the niche of what you need to be or to do to be able to overcome that rejection.
Yeah. It's just like what I was saying now, that don't let the pain also drive you into dark places. Because
don't allow that.
I could have been in a very, 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 very dark place with what was going around me. So don't allow the pain to take you into alcohol.
It's not the end of the day. It's not the end of the day.
So many, because now we always want, this is where trauma starts to build up, because you're trying to numb the pain. You have to figure out something to use to figure out. Thankfully, God came to my rescue. If not, I would have used something. And there are actually things I have seen that I've picked up that were traits that even up to now, I'm still wrestling with them now to make sure that it's out of my system.
It's out of your life.
Because it was a coping mechanism. And you have to develop a positive coping mechanism.
Coping mechanisms.
And also, thank God, God had the gift of artistry in me.
Okay.
That I used now to project my pain.
Okay.
So in that pain, while I was finding God, I was finding my art, and the two was a way of a coping mechanism. So that's why some people, most successful people, trust me, they have a pain of rejection that they're using.
Everybody, like, you can't be successful and not be rejected.
Even
There's
the
no
wealth
way.
that I had listened to, like I was listening to Maritime Gold, he said, unless if you're born in a silver spoon, big silver spoon.
Even so you'll be rejected for your silver spoon.
I know you'll be rejected, but most of the time, if you're coming from where you're coming, that pinch of pain will tell you, nah, bro, I gotta go get this bag. Because you know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And I was watching a documentary by Giannis, one of the best basketball player, Giannis. I think if you went to basketball, you probably know him. When the Bucks won, he's like Nigerian born. He's not Nigerian born, but his parents migrated to Greece.
Okay. Yeah.
I think you know the story. They migrated to Greece and he was born in there. Then he ended up being drafted into the NBA. And when he got to the NBA, he was playing so hard. Like, bruh, people were wondering, one of the journalists was saying that I was wondering what was driving Giannis, because he came in fired up.
Yeah.
He was, and then later on when you're watching the podcast, I mean the documentary, you realize that he says, I was afraid of going back to the poverty of Greece. So the pain that he faced in Greece was like, nah.
Created energy for him.
I can't go back to, he said I was, and when you see him play, he's not like the most super talented, but you can see that he is honest, his skill to the level that he plays like he's super talented. But it was there that I couldn't go back, because they were living in a very impoverished environment in Greece. Like, it was bad. Super bad. So when you got that opportunity to be drafted into the NBA, where like for them 200 euros was like a lot of money for them. Like they say they used to sleep in like a 2-roomed apartment, 2 of them and their 4 brothers. Things were bad. So when he got the opportunity to actually go to the NBA, he played like mad business. That was the driving force behind him.
That was the energy.
So you know that you use it for good. He was like, nah, we can't go back to that.
Take the energy, take the negative energy and use it to develop. Look into it. You see, when people reject you, the first thing you should do is look into your life. Find out, okay, what are they really rejecting about me? Is it something that I'm doing that is not right? Is it a silly behavior? You know, because people can reject you because maybe you talk too much. Or maybe the way you think is not aligned to what they need. And then you introspect. And then if you can't find something in yourself,
negative in yourself,
then you work towards, okay, how can I do better? Or is it something external? Is it something, because there are people even that have bad odor, sir. You get? So you can't get rejected for your odor. Just like people can't stand the odor. So
then you gotta go fix your odor.
You gotta correct that. You gotta clean up. You get?
So I think
smell good.
We can say to a conclusion on that is that some rejection is for correction.
Yes, some rejections are for correction. Not every rejection is intended to break you. It's to help you. Become better and then drive forward.
Like I'm sorry, sir. I had to put your story inside. That time when people rejecting you because yours was of correction.
Yeah. It was actually
Not for okay. I think it was double doing though. So I think it was double. It was both. It was for rejection and actually for building you.
Yeah, it was
because it built for you stamina.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. No, and one day maybe I will get to share the story that Durban is talking about.
So keep watching the episodes. In bits and pieces.
Yeah. We'll break it in pieces, but one day, it's still a bit freshish.
So yeah, keep.
No, but rejection. It's there to make you better, not to break you. Trust me. I've been through rejection, and I've been through the highest form of rejection, and it's not there to break you.
Yes,
rather it's there to make you better. If you can
embrace it.
Yes. Not and when we're saying embrace it, not say that it's a part of life. What are you gonna do? Everybody will reject me.
You do the other way. You're like middle finger to everybody. Then you do your own. That's not gonna work.
No. Embracing it is okay. Accepting it and say, okay, I see that you reject me, and then finding out the exact reasons why you rejected, and then correct it.
Yes.
There's some, and rejection actually saves you, sir, from a very awful downfall. Because if they reject you at a low level, imagine if it happened at a huge level.
It will be catastrophic.
It will be catastrophic. It will be such a shame for you to,
because everybody sees everything
when
that's
you've
happening.
Accumulated and you gain speed,
wealth or fame or notoriety of some sort, and then everybody's looking like you're like, ooh.
And even I look at even this guy Kanye, when he went through his process of rejection, divorce, and pulling out of the what Adidas and
everything,
Yeezys and all
that's
that.
At a high level.
Whoa!
The world is watching.
Whoa! From billions.
The dude was a millionaire. When he was a billionaire, sorry.
Yeah.
When he was talking his nonsense, only to wake up as a millionaire.
Yeah. and people rejected him, and everything turned against him. And he used all that energy, and now he's trying to rebuild himself.
Well, it's a bit what should I say? It's opinionative because he did build himself. He actually was coming to Christ, released a gospel album, everything. I don't know what is happening now. It's like he's tumbling down. I think it's
let's be watching.
They should be praying for him. For him is the power of association.
Wrong crowds, and that also that's a very valid point. So like when you do go through the pains of rejection and you're going through the rejection, the people you surround yourself with are important. They're very important because they will shape the way you will think from there on.
They will help you now out in actually realizing what's going on here.
Yeah.
If it's rejection for correction, they will help you get corrected.
To get corrected, there are people that if you surround yourself with the right crowd, then they will help you build yourself to the place where the rejection will work as a positive energy rather than a negative one.
And if it's for destiny's sake, where you've been rejected, but because of it's a destiny thing, that community will be the people that will actually help you now walk out properly to the right direction. I don't know how we can emphasize this.
I know you're hitting home. So when you talk about destiny rejection, like, because even God can allow people to reject you because you going in a direction He doesn't need you to go.
So now He's
trying to use all these rejections to shape
bring
you,
the right
to
people.
redirect you to the place where okay, this is where I need you.
Yes.
Like for example, even there was a time when I was rejected when I tried to apply for job. My first job, I applied. They rejected me, bro. I was like, what the heck? I've got everything you need. What are you talking about? You get
I got everything.
Only to find out that years later, when I was rejected, that job would have taken me away from Christ, away from church, away. But when I got the other job, then it gave me chance to be in the house of God, be in church, do the work of God, which now we see Pastor Wandile. You get, because I wouldn't be pastor if I took that job initially.
Yes. So I really want to hit on the points of that, on the emphasizing what we're talking about, that in that moment of rejection, it's not like you're alone.
Yeah.
Because God has to work around people.
Yeah.
He's going to take away the people that rejected you, right? Cool. But He's going to bring you the right people.
The right people. The
But
right
it's
team.
now up to you to now to pray for those people.
I made it to the league with the right team. Yeah. He's gonna bring those right people.
And also to you to embrace the right people.
Yeah.
So that you can actually go far. I think we were talking about it the other day that even I was telling you that how I feel like God was talking, because when you hear the same thing twice, you have to pay attention to it.
Okay.
Most likely it's God saying that, okay, you need to pay attention. When our father was preaching and he says that saying where if you want to go fast, go alone.
Go alone.
But if you want to go far, go with a group
others.
of people.
Yeah, go with others. Surround yourself.
And it's the same thing. You will be rejected, but God will bring like a association.
Will build
of good
people.
around you. And it's imperative. You're going to need people. People, yes, will reject you, but God is going to give people that accept you as who you are. Your tribe.
Yeah.
You need those people.
Yeah.
Because those people will help you, intercede with you, strengthen you. Actually, even give some will give resources to you.
Yeah.
And you need those people.
They'll be everything you need.
You need to go wherever you are. So now it's up to you to actually embrace now those people.
Yeah.
And they might not be the people you expect.
It might not even be the people you want.
That's the catch.
Yeah.
Because you'll be thinking, since then, God is going to bring me a billionaire or millionaire that's going to fund me. Bruh. He might bring one old guy with so much wisdom that will give you the wealth you need.
And just be teaching you or whatever. Like, hey, don't sit on rejection and be like, it's the end of the world. Rejection is not the end of the world. If you do encounter rejection, find a way.
Yes. So
look for God.
Be careful about those people.
Associate with the right people. Ask the right questions, even when you're going through the rejection. Don't just get angry and use the pain as a source of fighting, but ask the right questions.
Yeah, then that's
Ask
where
the right
you
questions.
obviously, because you're rejected because in a season there you feel isolated. That's the best season for you, because now it's you and God.
It's just you and him. Yeah, directly.
So that's the time you actually can build yourself spiritually. Now you can. There was an analogy. Was it one day, or was it Lecrie? I don't know. Between they were talking. I think Lecrie was talking with someone on his podcast.
Yeah,
and he was saying, if you are standing far from away, and I'm like, Pastor Wandile, Pastor, you won't be able to.
You won't hear.
But the closer you get, Pastor Wandile, you'll be like, huh?
Yeah.
Like now, how we are close.
Yeah,
I don't have to shout.
Yeah.
Right? No, Pastor Wandile, it's like this, like this.
Yeah.
That's how it's like with God. You get closer.
The closer you are, the more clearer
you hear.
Yeah.
But when you are around noise,
surrounded, crowded.
But when you're rejected, when you're isolated, it's quiet now. You can listen.
Take that time to listen.
Yeah, you can tell you now, left, right.
Yeah.
That one, no.
Don't do that. Yeah. Even in relationships, sometimes you find ladies that will cry over somebody who wasted their 3 years of life. You get and it's not I personally, I don't feel it's wasted. If a guy rejects you or a guy does something,
how did you feel like it's not wasted?
It's because sometimes you find that people will waste the rest of your life. And you're busy hooked onto him, and if they reject you, the earlier the better.
The earlier the better.
Yeah, go through it and then wake up. There's so much for you to achieve and to become, for you to just cry over one breakup.
I think it was this was the first time I heard that opinion. You remember your cousin Temba? There was one time we were talking, there was something that actually I never forgot what he said. He said, we were talking about marriage, and it was like, if someone that I wanted gets married, it's fine. And I said, why? And he was like, that means he was not meant for me.
Okay.
Because if it was meant for me, then the person would
never have happened.
It wouldn't have happened that way.
I like that narrative, because now it also controls the fact that, okay, if it happened in a different way, that means it just wasn't meant to be. It was
meant to be. So now I know I don't have to do it. Like what you're saying. If you thought it was meant to be, 3 years is better than wasting 30 years.
Imagine. And you know what? My parents were married for 15 years. They were married for 15. And what I'm trying to bring to is that that's where now we get divorced, because now that means it wasn't meant to be initially. You guys forced it, or you found reasons to make it work.
And most of the time, the ladies have a higher intuition.
Yeah.
You have heard, I'll fix him.
Yeah.
What you gonna fix?
You can't fix anyone, sir.
And after 15 years, you realize, dang, I can't fix him.
I can't fix him. And imagine this is something you would have realized in 2 years of your relationship.
But the pain of being rejection now wouldn't allow you to walk away, sir.
You walk, sir.
That's why she would rather stay.
My greatest advice: walk. Walk while you still have the chance.
While you still can walk.
Because the more time you spend with somebody, the more you create.
More clinched.
You create like that firm hand and connection. A soul tie, and then it becomes harder to break. That's where now you see people being devastated through all the breakups and divorce.
So it's actually a sidebar for, especially for ladies, because they are more emotionally.
They're emotionally like.
So you rather spend 3 years or 30 years. Imagine you have now children. You've wasted 30 years. So ladies, please,
And that's where now even the psychiatrist, or what they call psychologists, they'll be telling you, think about your children, think about your. This is something you could have avoided, bro.
Now you're like stuck in the
think about your children because they will suffer the pain of what.
But you are not even psychologically there. You are dying every day.
Yeah, you're dying. So like, open your eyes, shine them, be positive about everything. See, be optimistic. Be optimistic. Don't choose the pessimistic route of everything. When you're rejected now, it means there's something evil going on. Sometimes be positive about it. Okay, if I'm rejected, that means it just wasn't meant to be, or either I just have to upgrade myself.
So in any rejection, whether by your hand or whether it's destiny doing itself, you have to figure out, okay, what's going on here and walk the journey.
Yeah.
So you have to like
go through it.
And I think it's
don't skip the classes.
Don't skip it. Be self-aware.
Yeah.
Naturally, especially as believers, you have to be really aware of certain things. I feel like sometimes believers, we really like numb. We're just living life like it is what it is, man. But if you're really self-aware, when things happen, then you have to always ask questions. What's happening? Sometimes God is showing you in your dreams. You're so arrogant.
You're not even paying attention.
You have seen that this is a rejection. You see a certain dream, a certain pattern of dreams. You should come to a realization that, okay, I think this is probably the
communicating something. Yeah.
Oh, I think this is the person that God is trying to separate from me, because this person is going to lead me from, trying to be friend with this person, but you're always bumping heads. They're always
fighting.
He's my homie. He's my homie.
And even if
he's your homie till they stop you in a car and they put you behind carrying someone.
Even when you listen to our last podcast about untreated traumas and all these things Sister Tina was talking about, you understand that you have to allow yourself to wake up from your sleep. Wake up. You have to be your life. Wake up. There are people you will lose in this procedure, in the process, and be okay with that.
Yes,
be okay with that. They will reject you. You don't give them the same energy. And even for yourself, like our father always teaches, saying that friends are by choice.
Yes.
So that means there are people you have to reject as well.
You have to reject him.
Yeah, because now if you accepting everybody to be your friend, then there's something wrong with you.
You're now living for their acceptance.
You're living for their validation, which brings you back to the point you were talking about, validation.
That you will die from their rejection.
You die from their rejection, sir.
So you have to repel from a sort of...
If you realize a person is not going in my direction, it's okay to cut ties.
Yeah.
To be like, okay, so I'm not enemies with you. I'm not fighting you. We're not problem.
We're good.
But I just feel like
I don't think we're going the same direction.
Yeah. You're going this way. I'm going this way.
So you have to allow rejection.
If I meet you on the road, or we're still cool.
Yeah. And as believers, it's just a natural thing that we're going to be rejected because of our faith in Christ. Yeah. Because not everybody, so it's something that you have to actually build a thick skin.
Build a thick skin around.
Because you're going to be rejected. They'll be like, he's a Christian. Even at work, they'll be like, I'm Fundis. And they will be mocking you one way.
Yeah.
And if you take it to the heart, you'll be like, so you have to build a thick skin. You see it every day on the news, on social media, that they're always trying to push back our faith.
Yeah.
And we actually, and sometimes not because we're doing something bad, because we're bringing light. So they're in their dark. So when they see the light, they're like, it's too bright. And then
and we're even approaching a very dangerous time as believers, because we are approaching the last days, which talks about this rejection we speak about now.
It's happening as we speak now.
It's going to get even worse.
There are certain things that we can't even say on this podcast because of our faith, because we believe it's supposed to be this way.
Yeah.
And we're like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna get worse, and I feel like all these minor rejections we are going through are actually training us for the bigger picture.
For the bigger picture.
For the last days, where now we will have to stand for our faith.
For our faith.
Yeah. So let's keep praying for each other, interceding, and making sure everybody understands that rejection is not the end of the world. If you get rejected, try again. If you feel like trying again is not what you want to do, then fix and go somewhere where you'll be comfortable.
So
you don't have to beg for relationships or people. If they reject you, then find out why. Find out why. And when I'm saying move on, there are levels to this, sir. Like, for example, if you have a problem with maybe like a spiritual father or a spiritual leader, you don't just move on from that.
You have to fix that issue.
Yeah, you fix those relationships like that. You find out, okay, sir,
what went wrong?
Where did I go wrong? What do you need me to do? You get.
I think it's a vast topic. We can even go to part 2. So if you feel like we need a part 2, yeah, let us know. So already Sister Tina's one is on pending. We have one person saying we should do part 2.
We do part 2.
If you want us to do part 2, let us know. This one is so deep. There's so many corners we could have gone. If you want us to do a part 2, let us know.
Okay. Yeah. I'm happy with always part 2, and we could always, if you have a suggestion of a guest, that can, or you wanna elaborate on the topic, you can just get in touch with us, and and even I don't know if I'm allowed to, but I was looking for somebody who's like who's aware of how to deal with depression, and who's informed about depression. If you know anybody about like that, please contact us, and so that we can
obviously in Durban.
Durban. Please, and we're trying to create conversations that will help people.
Yeah. So as usual, we should hear.
By the Harbour.
By the Harbour. Cool spot. You guys should come and check it out. You can see there's different places.
Difference in the
other time we were on the others, but
there's one I like. There's one I like, but we're still working on that.
We're still working on using it. So yeah, come here, get dope food, traditional food, burger, fries, all the dope stuff.
Yeah, shout out to Andile, the owner of the whole place. Shout out to all the workers. They were very nice and gentle, good
all
people.
Hospitable people.
Yeah.
Dope everything, dope vibe. It's such a quiet place sometimes, especially during the week where we shoot.
Yeah.
It's always, and I've seen a lot of celebrities do their things.
They actually do other parts here as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's actually a dope spot. And obviously, if you want to get your air match, please lock in.
Feel free, fellas. Feel free.
Yeah. Lock in. What did you say? It's for free? No, it's not for free.
It's not for free. I said feel free to order. Feel free to order.
For free, I'm like,
feel free to order.
No, I'm just kidding. So, if you want a t-shirt, if you want a hoodie, if you want a cap, link us up. There's a number in the description.
Yeah.
We'll get your order sorted.
Prices?
When you link up, sir.
Okay, when
we link up, then we'll talk. Because some of them might be far, so there will obviously be shipping.
Okay, so there's
shipping costs involved. But if you're local, it's a different situation. We can handle that. And also, if you still want to look into the competition, you have to subscribe, you have to comment, you have to share, and tag us, tag the Third Base Online, or tag one of us,
any of us,
and then we'll see. Then you'll be a candidate to win any of the merch we'll be giving away. And yeah, I hope you're doing the good stuff.
Yeah, please make sure you do the good stuff. Like, share, comment. Spread the good news. We love you.
Don't forget to subscribe, please. Do subscribe and like. We love you, and we better bounce. We out.
Shout out.
Trust in your plans. Trust in your process. Trust in your plans. Trust.